On her daughter's 12th birthday, she chose love over family. Witness her incredible karma reveal. As the sun began to rise over Maplewood, Sarah felt a whirlpool of emotions bubbling inside her. Today was Lily's birthday, a milestone that she had been preparing for tirelessly. The backyard, crammed with handmade decorations crafted from dollar store finds, was a testament to her vibrant love. Balloons swayed gently in the warm summer breeze, each color bursting with unspoken wishes. Homemade cupcakes, frosted to perfection, awaited their moment to shine. Today, she vowed, her daughter would feel special, cherished, and adored. Yet, beyond the excitement lay a thunderstorm of anxiety. Her father, the man who vanished from her life years ago, had returned without warning. He claimed he wanted to reconnect with Lily, weaving tales of valor and adventure from his past. But for Sarah, his sudden reappearance sent her heart racing with dread. Memories of a lonely childhood, filled with unanswered questions and abandonment, clawed their way to the surface. Would this stranger, her father, bring joy or heartache to her daughter's life? The day unfolded like a beautiful dream, but the undercurrents threatened to drown her spirit. As Lily giggled with friends, captivated by tales spun by a man she barely knew, a sense of foreboding gripped Sarah. This was her moment to create joy for her daughter. Would she allow the ghost of her past to invade this special occasion? Or could she find a way to embrace her father, risking everything for her child's happiness? Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. As the day went on, laughter echoed through the backyard, but Sarah felt herself retreat into the shadows. The sun dipped low, casting a warm glow over the scene, but her heart remained heavy. Moments of joy collided with waves of betrayal. Eventually, the tension became unbearable, and she made a beeline for the garage, desperate for clarity. The air was thick with unspoken words as the door creaked shut behind her. "How can you just show up after all these years?" Sarah demanded, her voice thick with emotion. Tears pricked her eyes as she confronted the man who once chose a battle over fatherhood. Beneath his weathered exterior, she saw a flicker of pain, acknowledgement of the past they shared. Would he ever comprehend the depth of his absence? Her father's words spilled forth, a mixture of regret and a longing for redemption. Yet, every story he shared only deepened her internal conflict. She felt the delicate balance of love and protection tilt dangerously toward chaos. How could she allow this man, the embodiment of her childhood, hurt into Lily's innocent world? As the birthday candles flickered, illuminating their faces, Sarah stood on the precipice of forgiveness. The warmth of the moment clashed with the cold weight of reality. Would she choose to allow this unexpected family reunion to fracture their peace? Or would she fight with every ounce of her being to preserve the sanctity of their lives? The air filled with anticipation as Sarah grappled with her emotions. It was a moment that could forever alter the path of her family. Could healing truly begin amidst the legacy of hurt? As the last echoes of birthday laughter rang out, the looming question hung like a dark cloud, leaving uncertainty in its wake. The air in the garage was thick with tension and unresolved feelings as Sarah took a step back, her father's words spinning in her mind like falling leaves caught in a gust of wind. The love she so desperately wanted to give to Lily clashed with a gut-wrenching fear that his presence could shatter their fragile world. "Look, Sarah," he said, his voice low and earnest. "I know I messed up. I didn't expect to walk back into your life and make everything okay. But I want to be there for her. I want to try." Sarah shook her head, tears pooling in her eyes. "You can't just waltz in after all this time and expect everything to be fine. You abandoned me. You abandoned us." The ache in her voice felt like an anchor, dragging her down into the murky waters of resentment. He took a step closer, hands out in supplication, as if that alone could bridge the years of hurt. "I know I can't fix the past, but I want a second chance. Not for me, for Lily. She deserves to know her grandfather. I want to be part of her life. Part of her life? Sarah felt her heart racing. What if history repeats itself? How do I know you want to disappear again? She could feel the protective instincts rising within her like a tide, threatening to drown out any possibility of reconciliation. In the distance, the sound of laughter from the backyard echoed louder than ever, punctuating the stark silence that settled between them. Sarah closed her eyes, trying to will away the pain of her childhood memories, the empty seats at school events, the hollow holidays where she pretended everything was fine. You don't understand, her voice broke, desperation etching lines across her face. Lily is my priority. I can't let her experience what I went through, feeling lost, abandoned. His eyes softened, and in that moment Sarah saw the flicker of understanding, a reflection of her own fear mirrored back at her. I don't want that for her either, he said quietly, but I can't change what I did without your help. I want to show you that I am different now. For a heartbeat, Sarah considered it. Could he really be sincere? Was it possible that he'd become a man worthy of Lily's trust? Or was this just another delusion, another fleeting promise made to mask the past? Lily loves stories about heroes and adventures, he continued, his voice softer now, filled with hope. What if I shared my stories with her? Maybe that could help us find some common ground. I just want to be part of her life in whatever way I can. Inside the house, the celebration continued, oblivious to the storm brewing in the garage. Sarah's heart raced as she envisioned Lily's face lighting up with joy while listening to tales of daring feats and affection. The desire to shield her daughter from heartache warred with the wish to give her the gift of family, even a complicated one. How can I trust you? Sarah murmured. You'll have to, he replied simply, his gaze locked onto hers, unyielding and earnest. Trust has to start somewhere. Let us take it one step at a time. As the sun dipped lower, casting a golden glow that spilled through the garage window, Sarah felt the weight of history pressing down on her. Could she take that risk? What if opening this door led to something both beautiful and terrifying? Tentatively, she took a deep breath, considering the smallest thread of possibility. For Lily, but just then, a loud squeal rang out from the backyard. Mom, come see. Lily's voice pierced through her thoughts, a sweet reminder of innocence so desperately worthy of protection. Sarah stood frozen, her heart a tempest of conflict. Everything hung in the balance. Would she risk their peace for a chance at a new beginning, or close the door forever on an uncertain future? The sound of Lily's laughter echoed once more, and Sarah knew she had a choice to make. Could love truly begin from the ashes of the past? The moment of hesitation felt like an eternity as Sarah's mind raced. Lily's joyful voice tugged at her heartstrings, reminding her of the innocence she vowed to protect. She glanced at her father, searching for any hint of sincerity on his face. Could he truly be different? Mom, please. Lily called again, her excitement spilling into the air like the warm sunlight filling the garage. With every ounce of her being, Sarah wanted to ignore her father and rush to Lily, but something deep inside held her back. The fear, the resentment, the years of hurt melded into a chaotic storm. Choosing to protect her daughter felt safer, but could this be an opportunity for healing? Sarah, her father, broke the silence, pulling her from her whirlwind of thoughts. I know it won't be easy. Just give me a chance. I have stories that could bond us, memories that could bridge the gaps. For Lily's sake, please? She stared into his pleading eyes and a wave of memories surged. The boyhood man who left behind a shell of a father. A life lived in shadows. The countless nights of wishing for a different reality. But this was Lily's moment now, and her happiness mattered most. Without realizing it, Sarah took a shaky step forward, drawn by the prospect of a better life for her daughter. One chance, she said slowly, feeling the weight of the words. One chance to prove yourself to me, to her. A flicker of hope ignited in her father's eyes, a glimmer that warmed the cold corners of Sarah's heart. Thank you, he whispered, filled with emotion. I won't let you or Lily down. I promise. Mom, Lily shouted again, her voice bubbling with happiness. You have to see this. Without thinking, Sarah moved toward the door, her father close behind. A tightness in her chest lingered, but the laughter of her daughter pushed her forward. The backyard exploded with color as balloons bobbed in the breeze, and friends zoomed around in a playful tug-of-war. There was Lily, standing victorious, her grin stretching wide as her friends cheered. When their eyes connected, time froze. Just for a moment, the chaos of the garage vanished. The twinkle in Lily's eyes mirrored the innocence Sarah was trying so desperately to protect. "Look, Mom," Lily exclaimed, her arms opening wide as if to embrace the world. "Did you see how I won?" "Yes, I saw. You were amazing." Sarah rushed to her, enveloping her in a hug that radiated warmth and love. In that moment, everything else faded away, her fears, her doubt, and even her father's past. Laughter erupted around them. Her father quietly observed from a distance. His heart swelled as he watched Lily, the girl who shone with pure joy, grow increasingly aware of his presence. The next half-hour flew by as Lily opened her gifts, each nestled in colorful paper and tied with ribbons that danced in the wind. One by one, her friends gathered round, but Sarah's gaze frequently flickered back to her father standing a few paces away. "Hey, can you come help me with this?" Lily called out to him suddenly, her innocence and openness shining brightly. Sarah felt the tremor in her stomach as her father stepped cautiously toward Lily. The moment felt heavy, thick with possibility and fear. But then, Lily's laughter broke through the tension like sunshine through clouds. "Watch me, Grandpa," she shouted, tossing a balloon high in the air. "Can you catch it?" With every toss and laugh, a path began to emerge, one that could weave them all together or pull them apart. Sarah's heart raced at the thought. Was she doing the right thing? As they played, the shadows of doubt began to fade just a little, and Sarah felt herself breathe in the tiniest bit easier. But would it be enough? Would trust blossom from this moment, or would old wounds resurface to tear them apart once again? The laughter around her grew louder, but Sarah couldn't shake the apprehension settling in her chest. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of gold and orange, she found herself torn on the brink of something beautiful yet uncertain. Could they truly forge a new beginning, despite the haunting echoes of a broken past? The laughter swelled around the backyard, but Sarah's mind was elsewhere. Every balloon burst felt like a tiny eruption in her stomach. She watched Lily, so carefree, as she tossed the balloon again to her father with gleeful abandon. His hands reached out, fingers grasping the air, and he snagged it on the first try. "Got it," he called out, his voice surprising even himself. He was met with squeals of delight from the cluster of kids, and Sarah's heart ached at the sight. Connecting with Lily ignited a hope she hadn't felt in years. Yet in the back of her mind, the shadows loomed. What if this was all just an illusion? What if her father hurt Lily the way he'd hurt her? The idea made her heart clench tight. "Sarah," a voice cut through her thoughts. It was Clara, one of the other mothers. "Come join us. We're about to do the cake." Sarah forced a smile, but she couldn't move, her feet planted firmly on the patio. The thought of her father cutting a cake in front of everyone while she stood off to the side gnawed her. "Are you okay? You look a bit pale." Clara's concern was real, and Sarah could see it etched in her eyes. I'm fine," she replied too quickly, each word feeling jagged. She paused, searching for the right words. "Worried. About my dad. I can imagine. It's a big step for you." Clara placed a hand on Sarah's shoulder. "Just take it one moment at a time, okay?" Sarah nodded, her heart fluttering. She found solace in Clara's words. Maybe this was the moment to forgive, at least for Lily's sake. As the cake emerged, a giant concoction decorated with frosting, flowers, and sprinkles, Sarah felt the air shift. Everyone gathered around, laughter echoing as Lily's friends sang happy birthday. Remaining detached, Sarah stood back, observing. The joy radiating from Lily was intoxicating, pulling her in even closer. "Make a wish," someone shouted as the candles flickered to life, casting a soft glow against Lily's excited expression. With her eyes squeezed tight, Lily made her wish. For a brief second, Sarah's heart stopped. What would it be? Would she wish for more time with her friends? A big party every year? Or maybe just maybe a real family? The thought knocked the wind from her. Can you help me blow them out? Lily beamed at her father, whipping around to grab his hand. The sudden joy on her face was a magnet, drawing everyone's attention. Sarah felt painted into a corner, exhilaration and anxiety colliding. Her heart raced as her father crouched beside Lily, united in their shared moment. On three, he told her, and she nodded vigorously. Sarah's breath caught. Could this truly be real? Was this a moment of genuine connection? 1, 2, 3. The candles barely flickered before the combined efforts of Lily and her father extinguished the light. Cheers erupted as shouts of applause filled the air. But in the edges of Sarah's happiness, trepidation clawed at her mind. Her father clapped his hands and laughed, a sound filled with warmth. Yet, was it masking something darker? As the cake was cut, hands reached for slices. Laughter erupted again, but Sarah's stomach twisted. Every delighted shout from Lily seemed to echo all the questions she hadn't dared to ask. Are you going to come over for dinner? Lily's innocent question broke through the clamor. You can come, Grandpa. Her heart sank even further. Would the old wounds be the true dish served at their table? Her father hesitated. Of course, Lily. If your mother says it's okay. Silence hung in the air for a moment, expectations colliding. The weight of her daughter's hopeful eyes felt unbearable. Sarah's heart raced again. She was at the edge of something. Could she take that leap? Or would she keep them both in an unending cycle of hurt? As laughter swirled around her and Lily's jubilant voice echoed like a beacon, Sarah stood paralyzed. Would she choose hope, or would fear rule her heart once more? The moment felt pivotal. An inkling of transformation lay ahead. But in that uncertainty, a new doubt emerged. Was she ready to let go of the past and let this new chapter unfold? The cake was finally served, and the vibrant colors seemed to blend with the sounds of cheerful chit-chat. Children darted around, faces smeared with icing, laughter pealing like bells. But for Sarah, it was like watching through glass, the joyous scene muted by the heavy weight in her chest. Mom, try the cake. Lily's voice cut through her daze, sparkling with glee. There was Lily, her daughter, shining like the sun, radiating warmth and innocence. How could this little girl be the one to challenge a lifetime of hurt and fear? Sure, sweetheart. Just a moment, Sarah replied, her voice soft. She stepped forward, forcing her lips to curl into a smile, but every step felt monumental. With each slice of cake served, a wave of nostalgia washed over her, memories of birthday parties intertwined with her own childhood. The laughter felt real, but Sarah's heart was still caught in a tumult of apprehension. She took a piece of cake, the sweetness on her tongue unable to compete with the bitterness of her fears. Did you make a wish too? Lily asked, wide-eyed and blissful, the question soaring through the air like a balloon. Sarah opened her mouth to answer, yet the truth was knotted deep within her. The only wish she held was to protect her daughter. I did. I wished to be brave, she finally managed, though she wondered if that was wishful thinking more than a wish. Brave. Like a superhero, Lily exclaimed, delighting in her own interpretation. She beamed as if she owned the world. Sarah's heart cracked open a little more. That bright light offered an unexpected clarity. She didn't want to live in fear anymore, for herself or for Lily. Maybe bravery wasn't about conquering dragons, but about accepting who their family was, broken pieces, still capable of healing. Hey, Sarah. Clara called out, pulling her back to the present. Do you want to take a picture of Lily with her cake? The gathering guests turned, their voices softening as they waited, glancing from mother to daughter. Sarah hesitated. The camera felt heavy in her hands, a potential fortress built from remnants of the past. But as she glanced at Lily, her daughter glowing with expectation, something shifted inside Sarah. She took a breath, inhaling the smell of frosting and flowers, and said, yes, let us do it. As the kids huddled around, Lily in the center with her cake, something stirred in Sarah. She was part of something bigger, and this was their moment. She lifted the camera, her heart racing. The lens framed a perfect picture, hope wrapped in laughter. Say cheese, she urged, and the kids shouted it back in dizzying delight. The moment felt electric. Click. The shutter closed, capturing the essence of joy, a moment that felt so fragile yet so vivid. As the laughter cascaded around her, she felt the wall inside her crack further. Maybe her father could change. Maybe forgiveness could pave the way for a new beginning for Lily's sake. Mommy, look. Lily's voice pulled her from her reverie again as she held up a slice of cake, frosting glistening on her chin. I want you to have the first bite. The innocent love behind the gesture radiated warmth, and for the first time, Sarah's smile reached her eyes. Okay, Lily, she whispered, tears brimming. I'll have a bite. With every forkful, she felt herself unlocking tiny doors in her heart. She was scared, terrified even, but there was also a flicker of excitement. What would it mean for them, for their family, if she stepped through? Just as she took the bite, the backyard echoed with laughter again, and the familiar, alluring scent of cake wafted up, pulling at her resolve. Sarah. Her father's voice penetrated over the raucous laughter, a friendly wave beckoning invitations. Come join us. Her heart dropped, panic coursing through her. Would she join her father and take that leap, or would she cling to the shadows that had shaped her past? Choices loomed before her, a new path, blurring the lines of her faded memories. What would happen if she let go? The weight on her chest felt lighter, but her next step held all the gravity of the past. She glanced at Lily, her daughter, watching with sparkling hope. Could this be the moment Sarah stepped into a new world of possibilities? Or would history repeat itself, tainting every effort in a cycle she so desperately wanted to break? As the laughter rang in her ears, she stood frozen, a question echoing within. What if she chose love over fear? The call of her father's voice echoed in Sarah's mind, tugging at the edges of her thoughts like the waves pulling at the shore. They were calming yet relentless. She felt her heart thumping in her chest, each beat a reminder of the years that had passed, the moments stolen by fear and doubt. The laughter of neighbors and friends faded, replaced by the rush of memories. Lily took her mother's hand, giving it a gentle squeeze. Mommy, can we go see Grandpa? Her face wore that innocent curiosity, the kind that shattered walls. He's been waiting. The world around Sarah paused, even the sound of children's laughter softened. She glanced at Lily's eager face, her big eyes filled with trust. It was in moments like this that Sarah realized how much her daughter reflected the hope she had buried deep inside. How could she teach Lily the strength of love while shying away from her own? Taking a deep breath, she forced her legs to move. Step by step, she approached the group gathered just beyond the cake table. Each step felt like walking on fragile glass. Would she shatter with her first misstep? The thrill and tension of what lay ahead wrapped around her like a tight embrace. As they neared, her father turned, his face breaking into a smile. It was a smile that reminded Sarah of better days, moments held in fragile frames. He opened his arms, welcoming them like the prodigal daughter. Sarah, he exclaimed, his voice warm yet unsure as he registered the years between them. I was wondering if you'd come. Dad, she breathed out, the word heavy with everything she wanted to say and everything she couldn't. Lily let go of her hand and rushed into her grandfather's hug, innocent and unconditional. Sarah watched the two embrace and felt a vibrational tug of conflict stirring in her heart. Happy birthday, Lily, he said as he lifted her high, laughter spilling into the warm air. Sarah fought between the urge to hold her daughter and the unyielding pull of the past. She didn't want to deprive Lily of this moment, but the darkness lingered, swirling just beneath the surface. Can you believe she's 12 already? He continued, glancing at Sarah. His eyes seemed to ask questions she wasn't ready to face. Time flies, she whispered, her voice strangely distant, even to herself. You look well, he tried, but she could sense the hesitation lingering in his tone. Sarah nodded, the weight of unspoken words hanging like invisible chains, binding her thoughts. Should she bring up the past now? Should she confront the ghosts hovering at the edge of her happiness? Or would it derail this moment, this fragile truce? Why don't we take a family picture? Clara chirped from the sidelines, sensing the dynamics shifting. The idea hung heavy in the air, a potential knife. Would it cut away insecurities or reopen old wounds? Sure, let us do it, Lily exclaimed, bubbling with excitement. Sarah couldn't refuse her daughter's enthusiasm. She repositioned herself beside her father, feeling the weight of decades subsequently lifting and crushing once again. As they all gathered in a huddle, Lily squished in between them, beaming with joy. For a fleeting moment, Sarah felt like a part of something whole, something that could still be pieced together. Say cheese. Clara's cheer burst through the air once more, capturing smiles and hope which danced like flickering candlelight. Click. The world froze for just an instant, a moment suspended in time, a snapshot of love trying to bloom amidst confusion. As the laughter faded out, Sarah felt a whirling storm of emotions rise within her. The camera had captured their smiles, yet it was her heart that was still trying to catch up. Would the photograph become a symbol of healing, or would it remind her of the fractures they were stepping on? She felt her breath catch. Love and fear danced together like flames trying to battle for space. What would she choose as they moved into the next moment, fear of hurt or faith in healing? Clenching her fists, she could either unleash her truth or allow history to bind them yet again. As they all began to step away from the spot, Sarah knew this was a turning point. Mom, can we go to the swings? Lily's voice cut through her thoughts, filled with innocent anticipation. Sarah looked between her daughter's eager face and her father's anxious gaze. In that instant, a question burned in her mind. Would she dare to make a choice that could change the course of their lives? Lily bounced on her toes, her excitement pulling Sarah back from the depths of her tangled emotions. She smiled at her daughter, captivated by that spark of pure innocence that reminded her of a time before life's complexities had taken hold. Sarah nodded, her heart racing for different reasons now. Sure, let us go to the swings. They walked hand in hand, Sarah looking down at Lily's tiny fingers clasped so tightly around hers. It felt grounding, like an anchor in choppy waters. As they moved toward the playground, the sound of birds chirping and children playing filled the air, chasing away the remnants of tension that had seeped in moments before. Her father was saying something, his voice barely reached her, drowned out by the carefree laughter nearby. Sarah turned to look at him, catching a glimpse of the worry etched across his face. She wanted to reassure him, but felt the weight of her own uncertainty. The swings were calling her, beckoning with the possibility of fun and freedom. Want to swing high? Lily's eyes sparkled as they reached the swings. Yes, let us see who can go the highest, Sarah responded. She felt an exhilarating rush, a glimmer of joy starting to blossom within her. The swings creaked reassuringly as they settled into place. Her father's figure was a shadow in the distance, a figure drawn back into the frame of her memory as she pushed off the ground. With every kick of her legs, Sarah found herself rising higher, the wind brushing against her face. She could barely hear Lily's laughter above the rush of wind in her ears, but the sound was pure music to her soul. It was a sound that wrapped around her, lifting her spirit as she soared into the open air. For a moment, moments of the past faded away, replaced by the thrill of the present. Mom, look at me. Lily's voice broke through, and Sarah turned just in time to see her daughter pumping her legs furiously, grinning from ear to ear. The sight flooded Sarah's heart, and for a brief second, she saw not only her daughter, but also the woman she had been, the woman she could be again. As they swung higher, her laughter mingled with Lily's, creating a symphony of lightness that echoed across the playground. Sarah glanced back toward her father, who stood watching with a hesitant smile. Deep down, she felt the flicker of hope that perhaps this was the moment, a chance to start anew, to embrace her past without letting it define her. The game shifted as Lily jumped off her swing, landing on the grass with all the grace and determination only a 12-year-old could muster. Come on, Mommy. Race me, she called, her spirit infectious. Sarah hesitated for just a heartbeat, doubt creeping in like a shadow. What if she stumbled? What if she fell flat on her face in front of everyone? But then an echoing thought came uninvited. What if this was her chance to reclaim joy? Okay, She shouted back, her voice stronger than her doubts. They darted across the open field, her feet pounding against the earth, heart racing, laughter spilling out like sunlight. The world narrowed to just the two of them, weaving together in a simple moment layered with laughter and a shared sense of adventure. Sarah's heart swelled. There was a joy that felt familiar yet excitingly new. As they reached the swings again, Sarah slowed down, hands on her knees, gasping for breath. Lily stood by her side, cheeks flushed, eyes sparkling like stars. But as they caught their breath, Sarah felt something stick in her throat, a thought that would not leave. "Mom?" Lily's voice hesitated, her expression shifting to concern. "Are you okay? You don't look so good." Just thinking, sweetie." Sarah turned her gaze away, searching for an answer she couldn't quite articulate, but it pulled at her, whispering of buried truths, of moments they still needed to explore. "Can we go back to Grandpa now?" Lily asked, eyes darting back toward the party. A wave of uncertainty rolled through Sarah once more. What would she say? Could she face him after all these years? But maybe, just maybe, this was the opening she'd been waiting for, a chance to embrace the past and reshape the future. Taking a deep breath, she nodded slowly. "Yes, let us go." As they walked back, Sarah's heart raced with anticipation, but also with an undercurrent of fear. Was she ready to face her father, the brokenness of their history, and her own lingering doubts? Would today be the day she chose to bridge the gap? The question hung heavily in the air, each step bringing her closer to a moment that could change everything. The playground faded behind them as Sarah and Lily walked towards the gathering, the air thick with unspoken anxieties. With each step, Sarah's pulse quickened. It felt like a countdown to something monumental. The laughter that had surrounded them moments ago felt distant, replaced by the drumbeat of her own thoughts. "Mom, why do you look so serious?" Lily glanced up, her brow furrowed in concern. The innocence in her voice tugged at Sarah's heart. How could she explain this weight, this uncertainty, to her bright, joyful daughter? "It's just family stuff," she managed, forcing a smile. But even as she spoke, Sarah wondered if mentioning family would shatter the fragile happiness they had just shared. Lily shrugged, and the conversation shifted as they approached the small group gathered for the birthday celebration. Colorful balloons bobbed in the gentle breeze, and the scent of cupcakes wafted through the air. Yet all Sarah could see was her father standing nearby, his face carefully neutral. "Hey there," he called, waving slightly. Each wave felt like a wave of reality crashing over her. It reminded Sarah of turbulent waters, unpredictable yet unavoidable. "Happy birthday, Lily." He walked over, pulling her into a hug. Lily's laughter rang out again, a symphony of joy. As Sarah watched, it ignited something deep within her. Perhaps the very bonding that frightened her could also be a source of healing. "Thanks, Grandpa." Lily chirped and gently broke free, her attention already elsewhere, back to the festivities. "Hey, Sarah." Her father's voice was soft yet edged with something unspoken. The familiar tension settled around them, like an old, heavy blanket. "Hi, Dad," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. A moment stretched, full of unvoiced worries and shared memories. Sarah felt the weight of everything that had never been said loom over her. Would she bring up the past now, or keep it buried for another day? Little Lily was still playing with her new friends, and as Sarah glanced at her daughter, she realized it was all about breaking those chains of silence for Lily's sake. "Can we talk for a second?" she finally asked, jabbing a thumb towards a quieter corner of the yard. "Sure," he replied, his brow furrowing slightly. They walked away from the laughter, each step feeling heavier. The world around them blurred as they moved into the shadows of the trees. "It's been a long time," she started, the lump in her throat making it hard to continue. "Yeah, it has," he admitted, his eyes dropping to the ground. A silence stretched between them, thick with tension, yet it felt necessary, a canvas for the words that needed painting. "I've been thinking about us," Sarah finally said. "About how we never really talked after everything happened." He hesitated, searching for the right words, but it was clear he was wrestling with his own flood of emotions. "Did you think about calling? Reaching out?" Sarah wasn't sure where the anger had come from, yet it spilled out, raw and unrefined. I didn't know how to start. I thought he looked torn, a knot of regret tightening in his expression. I thought giving you space would help. And I thought I was alone. Their eyes met in the silence, two souls grappling with the wreckage of their past. For a moment, vulnerability coursed through Sarah, breaking down the walls they had carefully built. Maybe I should have reached out sooner, he finally said, voice thick with sincerity. I miss you, Sarah. The truth of his words washed over her, but doubt still clung to her heart. Could they really mend what had been shattered? Would this conversation lead to healing, or would it open old wounds? Her heart yearned for connection, to unravel the years of distance and pain, but she also felt fear creeping in again, fear of reopening old scars. Can we try again? To be close? She asked, the vulnerability hanging thick in the air. I'd like that, he replied, a flicker of hope igniting in his eyes, but how would they begin to rebuild? Lily's laughter rang out again, bright and inviting, but in that moment, the vast expanse of uncertainty felt like a chasm between them. Could they really cross it without falling back? As Sarah turned to look back at her daughter, she knew an answer awaited her. But what would she be ready to embrace? Hey, let us join the others, Sarah suggested, a smile masking her doubts. But deep down, she knew the real conversation had only just begun. And as they walked back, the ground felt less certain beneath her feet. Would today be the beginning of a new chapter or another false start? Only time would tell. The vibrant scene unfolded before them as they stepped back into the party, but Sarah felt like she was wading through thick fog. The laughter and music seemed to swell with life, but the tension simmered just beneath the surface of her own reality. She watched Lily dart between friends, her carefree spirit a balm for the anxieties swirling inside Sarah. Look, Mom. They're playing tag. Lily squealed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. The innocence of that joy stirred something fresh within Sarah, a reminder of the purity of childhood before complex familial ties tangled the heart. That looks fun, sweetie. Sarah forced a smile, trying to focus on her daughter's happiness, yet her mind echoed with questions. Did her father truly mean it? Could they rebuild after all this time? Do you want to join? Lily called, running back to her. Her enthusiasm was palpable, and even amidst the heaviness of the moment, Sarah couldn't help but feel a flicker of hope. Maybe in a bit, Sarah replied, ruffling her daughter's hair. I want to talk to your grandpa for a minute. Okay. Don't take too long. Lily darted off again, chasing the other kids. As Sarah turned back to her father, she felt the weight of the conversation they still needed to have. He stood by the picnic table, hands shoved in his pockets, looking out at the children playing, his expression wistful, almost regretful. She took a deep breath and approached him. Do you remember when you took me to the fair? She asked, trying to ease the intensity of the moment. The memory was a cherished one, painted with the kind of joy that felt bittersweet now. He turned to her, surprised. Yeah, you were so excited about that giant Ferris wheel. You wouldn't stop talking about it for weeks. Exactly. And you made sure we stayed till closing so I could ride it one last time. The nostalgia brought a smile to Sarah's face, yet there was a tinge of sadness. I just wish we could make more memories like that instead of a history full of misunderstandings. He looked at her, his gaze intense, searching her face. I've always cherished our time together, Sarah. I never wanted it to come between us. I wanted you to have all the fairy tale moments, but life got in the way. Life often does, doesn't it? She responded quietly. They both stood in a moment thick with realization. The illusion of time lost hung heavily between them, almost palpable. In his eyes, Sarah saw a spark of the father she had craved, a man she had given up on too long ago. I want us to have those moments back. But I need to know if we can truly let go of the past, he said gently, the weight of honesty evident. The laughter of Lily and her friends echoed louder now, mixing with the distant sound of music from the party. For a moment, the tension dissipated, replaced by the sweet sounds of childhood joy. Sarah felt a warm rush of determination. I'm willing to try if you are. But it'll take work. I'm ready for that work, he said firmly, his expression resolute. But as Sarah looked out at her daughter's joy, an uneasy thought crept in. Could this togetherness truly last? Could the healing be genuine, or would life throw more hurdles in their way? Just then, Lily approached, eyes wide and bright. "Mom, we're having a cupcake competition. Come play." "Cupcake competition?" Sarah echoed, the call of play tempting her away from the heavy conversation. "Yeah, you and Grandpa have to join me." Lily's enthusiasm was infectious, pulling at Sarah's heart. She glanced back at her father, and for the first time in years, she saw not just a man haunted by the past, but a father eager to connect. "Okay, we're in," Sarah called back, her heart lightening as her worries receded, if only for a moment. As they headed towards the joyous chaos, a flicker of doubt surged through her. What if stepping into this new chapter proved more challenging than expected? Would they make it work this time? Uncertainty trailed behind her like a shadow, but with the laughter of her daughter lighting the way, maybe just maybe they stood a chance at forging something beautiful again. "Let us see who can decorate the best cupcake," she declared, determination blooming within her. Yet deep down, Sarah could feel the unknowing edge closer. Would this day be the beginning of something wondrous or yet another setback? As they dove into playful chaos, that question loomed large, waiting for an answer. Amidst the joyful chaos of the party, Sarah found herself enveloped by laughter, her heart fluttering with a mix of hope and fear. The cupcake competition had ignited a playful energy that permeated the backyard, wrapping around them like the warm summer sun. Lily's laughter rang out, contagious and bright, a melody that pierced through the layers of uncertainty clouding Sarah's heart. "Come on, Grandpa. Team up with me," Lily begged, tugging at her father's arm, her eyes sparkling with excitement. He looked at Sarah, searching for a response, and she couldn't help but smile, her heart softening. Maybe this was the moment to embrace the laughter and let the past fade into the background, if only for a little while. "All right, let us do it," Sarah agreed, stepping forward with a newfound resolve. Together, the three of them gathered around the table weighed down with colorful sprinkles, frosting tubes, and an array of toppings. Sarah could see her father's apprehension slip away as he joined in, channeling his years of absence into playful banter. "All right, Team Cupcake, what is our strategy?" he asked, his voice animated as he leaned down to meet Lily's eager gaze. "We need to be the masters of frosting." Sarah watched, her heart swelling with unexpected warmth as Lily began directing their efforts, her innocence creating a bond that felt both fragile and empowering. In those moments, as they worked together to create a mountain of colorful cupcakes, laughter and the scent of sweet frosting became their language. Sarah couldn't help but let go of her doubts, letting the joy of the moment carry her. "Look at this one," Lily exclaimed, proudly presenting a cupcake that was more frosting than cake, its irregular shape a testament to their teamwork. "It's the best ever." "It's definitely a masterpiece," Sarah chuckled, crouching beside her daughter. "But watch out, it might topple over." "Not on my watch," her father chimed in, his eyes dancing with warmth. "I'll guard the cupcakes like they're king's treasure." In that blissful cocoon of laughter, Sarah began to see possibilities blossoming around them like the colors strewn across the table. Could they truly do this? Could they find a path together through all the chaos of their past? She caught her father's eye, and for a moment, the walls between them fell silent. "Okay, time to judge," Lily proclaimed, her hands on her hips, claiming her role with fierce determination. "Who wants to go first?" "Let us do rock, paper, scissors to decide," her father suggested, and Sarah found herself laughing along as the base of playful competition begun. The sound of her daughter squealing with delight chased away lingering shadows, and Sarah felt the flicker of hope ignite within her. It felt like too big a risk to embrace, yet she couldn't ignore it. As they presented their cupcakes to the eager group of kids, the cheers and applause were deafening. Each child squealed with delight, arms spread wide to showcase their sugary creations. Sarah watched Lily basking in the glow of approval, her innocence radiating warmth in Sarah's heart. In that moment, everything shifted. A thought crossed her mind, bright and bold. This isn't just about today. This could be the beginning of healing, of connection not just with her father, but in allowing herself the freedom to embrace love, even amidst uncertainty. "All right, cupcake champions," Clara called out from the side, camera in hand. "I want your best poses for a photo." As they grouped together, Sarah felt the weight lifting. Surrounded by laughter and joy, she realized a simple truth: family doesn't always fit neatly into boxes. It bends, it breaks, it rises anew. They stood together, arms intertwined, and in that moment, Sarah decided to let go of her fears, even if just for today. "Say family," Clara urged, just as she snapped the picture, capturing a fleeting moment of joy. "Family," they echoed, and Sarah's heart soared, her fears dissipating like mist in the morning sun. As the day unfolded into twilight, she felt a new chapter waiting, like a blank canvas, daring her to color it with new memories. Later, as the party dwindled down, Sarah pulled Lily close, planting a kiss on her forehead. "You were amazing today, sweetheart," she whispered, tears brimming with love. "Thanks, Mom. I hope Grandpa can come to our next party too." Lily grinned, her optimism radiating hope. Looking at her father across the yard, Sarah decided then and there. No more looking back, only forward. "Let us make this work," she murmured to herself, stepping closer to her father, ready to embrace that rocky path together. The future lay open before them, a canvas ready to be filled with laughter, love, and perhaps even forgiveness. Today, love had triumphed over fear. And with her heart wide open, Sarah faced that beautiful uncertainty head-on. Subscribe immediately to the channel to not miss the next exclusive stories that will inspire and uplift you. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and help us grow. Comment your reactions and feelings about this incredible ending. Share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this transformation. This is the moment to show your support. Don't wait not even one more second to share. True fans understand the importance of supporting our journey together.